Welcome to the third of 4 parts on our primer on strategy. In this micro lecture, I'll be talking about the elements of strategy. So according to Hambrick and Fredrickson, there are 5 elements of any strategy. The first is arenas. Where will we compete? The products or services, geographic markets, specific technologies that we will compete in. Vehicles is the second of the 5 elements of strategy. In other words, how are we going to get there? Differentiators. This is the key piece where we create strategy by differentiating ourselves from others. In other words, how will we win support from other organizations, funders, and the community? Staging is the speed and sequence of the various steps that we're going to take in order to implement our strategy. And finally, the economic logic, well, that depends on the type of organization you're in. But within a nonprofit, we have to think about how the organization will be financially sustainable using this particular strategy. So let's talk about arena. Where will we be active? And with how much emphasis. So here we're looking at which product categories or service categories, in the case of many nonprofits, market segments, which specific customer or client or people we are serving. Are there specific geographic areas we're going to focus on? Are there specific core technologies, methodologies, approaches, theories of change that we are going to use? And where are we going to create value? Are we going to develop this internally? Are we going to do partnerships or collaborations? Are we going to work with other organizations to either franchise or to acquire or merge with other organizations? When we talk about differentiators, we're talking about how we will win. And in the for-profit world, we're really talking about image and customization and price and styling and all those kinds of things. But here I think what we're talking about is how do we deliver a better service that is more effective? So we're talking about social impact. How do we develop a methodology, theory of change, and approach to change that will differentiate us and enable us to find the resources we need to serve more people? Staging. What is the sequence, the speed of our expansion, or sometimes in the case of nonprofits, it's growth and scaling, and the order in which we are going to implement the initiatives in our strategy. So let's talk a little bit about the economic logic that must be part of any strategy. First of all, we have to decide what our cost structures are going to be and what our revenue structures are going to be. So how are we going to spend the funds on a particular strategy, and where are we going to get the funds for this strategy? Secondly, we need to make a decision about the form of organization, whether you're going to form a social entrepreneurial initiative, which is a for-profit initiative with a social purpose included in it, whether it's a social enterprise, which is a for-profit enterprise run by a nonprofit organization, and the funds that are made from profits are funneled back into the organization to continue to do good works, or whether you're going to run your program as a not-for-profit within your existing not-for-profit framework. All of these have different legal and accounting implications, and all of them have different implications for funders to make sense and still continue to be sustainable as an organization. So that is the 5 major elements of strategies.